The interior of the Earth. What do you think is inside? Magma? Rocks? People? Let's take a look and see what it's really made of. The Earth has two different ways to classify its inner layers. Either compositional, which is what the layers are made up of chemically, or mechanical, what the layers' states of matter are. Let's start with the compositional layers. The topmost layer is the crust. This is the layer that we walk on. Its composition is made up of silicates, or SiO4. It is also comprised of two different types of crust, continental and oceanic. Continental is light and it floats on top of the mantle. Oceanic is heavier and sinks into the mantle. The second layer is the mantle. It is made up of silicates along with iron and magnesium. This layer is about 3,000 kilometers thick, which is almost half the radius of the Earth. Finally, the last layer of the compositional is the core. The core is made up of a nickel-iron alloy on the outside, and the inner core is entirely iron. The iron core is what gives the Earth its magnetic properties. Now let's go to the mechanical layers. First is the lithosphere. This is a rigid rocky layer that is completely in the crust. Second is the asthenosphere. This layer is what we call plastic or partially molten. You can equate its consistency to silly putty. The asthenosphere is in both the crust and the mantle. Also, plate tectonics is driven by this layer. The rigid lithosphere moves around on top of it. Third is the mesosphere. It is completely solid and is entirely in the mantle compositional layer. Lastly, of the mechanical layers, we have the core that has two different parts to it. There is the outer core that is liquid and the inner core that is completely solid. The question is, how do we know so much about things we can't see? If we treat the Earth like a Christmas present, we can figure out what's inside. First, we can shake it. Using earthquakes, we can determine what the layers are mechanically due to the waves that travel through the Earth. The next thing we can do is peek inside. We can open up the Earth, and from there we can see the rocks of the crust. Also, from lava flows that come from the mantle, we can see what it's composed of. Next, you can check your receipts to see what's actually inside. The Earth's receipts are meteorites. Some meteorites are made of iron that come from the cores of small, destroyed planets. Lastly, you can take a magnet to your gift, and that will give you a little indication of what it is. By taking a magnet to the Earth, we can see if it has a magnetic field, and then deduce that it has an iron core.